Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another discussion video. Today we're talking about some more stuff coming out in Evolution Booster. Particularly today we're talking about the Skilless support. I think it all looks really good. I want to talk about some cool interactions that you can do with this new stuff and how Skilless might evolve going forward, evolve from Evolution Booster. I didn't even intend to say that. But anyways, if you guys are new here, definitely subscribe, hit that bell so you miss a video. If you guys want to support the channel, there are many ways down in the description to do so. Particularly today, if you want to buy or pre-order any Dragon Ball Super cards or any of the cards you see in this video, use my link in the description to TCG Player. It does give the channel a bit of a kickback and it really does help out a lot. That being said, let's get started. All right, Skilless Goku. If you guys have been on the channel for a long time now, I guess since around set 6, set 7, you would know that I love this leader. I played it a ton. It brought me a lot of success. It's a really good leader. It was one of the first leaders that, like, you know, created this concept of like drawing a ridiculous amount of cards because you know, each turn, even on turn 1, if you hit a ball, you start drawing. So leaders that can plus on turn 1 are obviously really good. Then your awakened turn, you can draw both on your unawakened and awakened side. The deck is just literally value town. It's kind of insane. I gotta say, I still got some beef with this leader. I do have to say that because there were several tournaments I entered with this leader around the same time that I got third place at the ARG Invitational with it, that I couldn't open Adventure Begins and 4-star ball. I played 4 Adventure Begins, I played 4 4-star balls, so that's 8, and I was playing blue yellow Skilless at the time. I think I was playing 3 sorbet yellow searchers, which is just a 1 draw. You play it, you search a 4-star ball. I know that yellow and red have them. I don't think blue and green have searchers, but anyways, play that brought me to 11 copies of a 4-star ball, which was more copies than anyone in the room was playing. Like, some people played 9, 10, but I played that many copies. Lost several games in the Virginia regional because I couldn't draw 4-star balls. So honestly, I haven't retouched Skilless ever since then. But that's not to say that the deck is bad, because in set 6 and set 7, this deck was so dominant. And then even in set 10, this was topping events, like several events. It got some new support in the anniversary box, which really helped bolster it. We will talk about some of that in just a bit. But the deck is just so good. The deck's so resilient. And one of those reasons is because of what I said before. It still draws an insane amount of cards. And when you have a deck in Dragon Ball Super that can draw an insane amount of cards, well, you got one really strong thing going for it. So once you have that down, you kind of look at the deck and say, okay, what is this deck actually doing? What is this advantage translating into? And in the case of Skilless Goku, it's ginormous battle cards, really good combo power, because once per turn you combo with Skilless on your awakened side of your leader, it's a free 10k, so that's really good. The value does translate into really powerful things, so I wouldn't be surprised if this new stuff that we'll talk about would be really good for the leader, maybe bring it into a really high tier rogue deck. I don't know if it'll necessarily be top of the meta, because I think there are other decks that are doing similar high value things for maybe a little bit cheaper on the energy cost, but I still think that this stuff could really help Skilless, you know, come to a high tier rogue level. And to be honest, like I said, in set 10, this deck was still topping, and that's because some of the support got in the anniversary box. I was really surprised when it stopped topping in set 11. It really didn't do much in set 11 / draft box 6 format. But I think people probably just put the deck down for some newer stuff, and I can't really blame them. I think there are a lot of really old decks that are still quite good. I've done several videos on that, talking about older decks that I think are still good, and I think people just don't experiment with them because, 1, they're older strategies, and 2, I mean, you're messing with all the new stuff in a new set, right? Do you really have the time to go and revisit all these old strategies? Like, if the idea pops in your head, like it kind of happened with me with that blue yellow Skilless Gohan deck, if the idea pops in your head and you try it out and it works out really well, great, you have a new great deck on your hands. But, you know, with all the new stuff that comes out and all these older strategies, I don't really blame people for not necessarily going back and experimenting. But now that Skilless is getting new support, I'm sure people will come back to this strategy and try to see what's what with the new stuff. But anyways, let's move on from here. So one of the other really cool things about Skilless, I basically told you guys, I love the deck. It's brought me a lot of success. I have stopped messing with it because it's kind of scorned me in the past. But one of the cool things about the deck is that it's so flexible in how you can build it. So with the anniversary box stuff that I mentioned before, or I guess I should start with the initial version of Skilless. Blue Skilless, yellow Skilless, and blue yellow Skilless were very good back in set 6, set 7. And then come set 10, with the new anniversary box support, Son Goku Jr., Vegeta Jr., Saiyan Scions made red Skilless really good, because this would bring your 1-drop red Son Goku out of the deck. Then you have like your Feisty Chi-Chi to bring it out as well, and then you have like Bonds of Friendship Android 8, that whole combo to remove battle cards, plus Topo at the time. Red was really good. But then with draft box 6, we got so many just randomly good Skilless cards, like Great Saiyaman 2 Budding Hero that allows you to, you know, splash green now if you want to. Chilled Greatest Pirate in the Cosmos, really great Skilless support for blue. So you could really go any way with building Skilless going forward, which is really, really cool. And the nice thing about the cards that we'll read is that they're black, so they're pretty much generic. They're gonna fit in just about any Skilless strategy you want to play. So if you want to go blue, if you want to go yellow, if you want to go green or red, you're gonna be able to play these new Skilless cards, and they should fit a role within the new deck you're trying to make. So let's go on to one of the first new cards. Android 8, Helping a Friend. We have a 1-drop black battle card. Activate main once per turn. If your leader card is a black Son Goku childhood card and you choose one 4-star ball in your hand and discard it, play one black battle card from your drop area with an energy cost of 1, 5,000 power or less, and a different card name from any battle cards you have in play. Okay, so what this is basically giving us here is recursion. So why is that important? Well, the two main 1-drops you're going to want to play are either Son Goku Adventure Begins, which is the 1-drop we saw in the beginning of the video, or Android 8 Bonds of Friendship. I did kind of touch on it briefly, but really quick, Android 8 Bonds of Friendship, when you play it, you look at top 7, you add a Skilless battle card to your hand, and then when a Son Goku childhood leaves your battle area during either player's turn, you get to KO a battle card. Keep in mind that works during either player's turn, so when you just combo a Goku childhood from the board, you get to trigger that effect, and that was a really powerful play back in the day. This basically gives you the recursion on either the Android 8 or the Goku. So especially the Goku, if it gets removed, that can give your deck some issues. So being able to bring that back to the field is really nice. Plus, pitching a 4-star ball is not really that much of a cost, because if you bring back Adventure Begins, you just add that ball right back from the drop or search a new one from your deck. So that's really just a 1-drop that says play an Adventure Begins from your drop. So that is quite good. But there's always a weird thing with cards like this. Like, first of all, you're going to have so many cards in your deck that, you know, do more proactive things. This is very much a reactive card. This is a card that you're basically, you know, trying to counter your deck's counters. In this case, you would be trying to counter your opponent removing your Son Goku childhood, right? So playing cards like this is always awkward because they're not always live. Sometimes they're dead in your hand. And like I mentioned before, Son Goku, or I guess Skilless, really benefits from an additional color. Like blue for Bean, or yellow for Nimbus, or red for Topo. So the more you add black cards to the deck and take away from the other color pool, you're making your charges a bit more awkward. You're making certain discard costs a little bit more awkward. You're making paying energy costs a little bit more awkward. So while I think this card is good, maybe it's sideboardable against like red, where they can -5 your Adventure Begins. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like it's definitely not going to be a main deck 4 of, I don't even know if it's going to be a main deck in general, but it can help in certain scenarios where you really can't afford to have your Adventure Begins removed. Next up, we have Playtime's Over. This card's got a lot of hype around it. There's good reason why. So it's a 1-drop counterattack. If your leader is black, negate the attack, then play up to 1 black battle card with an energy cost of 1 from your drop area with its skills negated for the turn. Okay. So in this case, it's very similar to the Android we just read, except there's no discard cost, which is very nice. It is a negate, so there is some more flexibility there. But one of the weird things about Skilless, again, is that when you're playing negates in the deck, a lot of times they're going to be those on-color types of floodgates. So you have Nimbus, you have Topo, Blue, and I guess not so much. But you still usually would play Power Burst in the deck. So this could very well replace Power Burst. This is a great card, honestly, because Power Burst lets you add Adventures Begin back to your hand, but this basically cheats the energy costs on that. You basically get to take the Adventure Begins, put it right into the field, so you're paying 1 less energy than you would if you're using Power Burst, and that can mean a lot, especially going into your next turn, and especially if you're not playing a Senzu Bean version of Skilless. That can mean a whole lot. The one minor issue with this card is that it doesn't have sparking, so compared to Power Burst, where in some scenarios you might have to tap out, you can't really afford to do that if you're playing this card, but you can sort of, play around that and make sure you're able to resolve this card. The other minor issue is that if you bring back Android 8 Bonds of Friendship, that's not really going to serve any purpose, because it does come in with the skills negated for the turn. So it would have been kind of neat if you could negate with this, bring back the Android 8, and then combo a Goku to pop one of your opponent's battle cards. But the way this card's worded, that's not really going to work out. But bringing back Adventure Begins, amazing for the deck, absolutely incredible. I definitely think that this is going to see a lot of experimentation. I could definitely see a universe where this is just better than Power Burst for this particular strategy, but I suppose time will tell. And then the final new card for the archetype, guys, we have Son Goku, the Path to Power. This is a 5-drop SR coming out of Evolution Booster. Unique double strike auto. When this card attacks, play up to one Skilless battle card with energy cost of 2 or less from your drop area, and it gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. I always find that a little bit weird when they, you know, make support that's directly intended for Skilless Goku. Like, you know, they've made Skilless support that technically can be played in any deck, but this is very specifically, you know, at least seemingly for Bonds of Friendship Goku. And only playing a 2 or less on the drop, like, yeah, I get it, you're only paying 2 energy to play this, which we'll talk about in a second. But, you know, a lot of the deck revolves around 30Ks. What I've noticed with building Skilless Goku is that you're going one of 3 ways. You're going 10K Skilless focused, 20K Skilless focused, or 30K Skilless focused. It gets a little bit awkward when you have to deviate or play 2 of those branches. Like back in the day, you played 20Ks and 30Ks because there were many less cards in the card pool that you had to kind of play around. But nowadays, when you're building the deck, you want to be a little bit more streamlined. You want to go 30K or 20K or 10K. You don't really want to intermingle too much. This might just mean you play the 20K variant of the deck, but maybe you could still splash like 1 or 2 30Ks since you will be playing Adventure Begins. I'm just saying it makes things a little awkward. Card's still amazing though, so let's talk about how to actually play this card. Activate main, pay 2. If your leader card is a sand card, which is actually kind of cool, it gives some flexibility. You can play this in other leaders. Your opponent has 2 or more energy, and you have 2 or more Skilless battle cards in your drop area. Play this card from your hand. So that's a really great way to cheat this in for 2 energy. I really don't think you'll be playing this on many turn 2s though. I think this will actually be much more of a late game card, because honestly by turn 2 it's going to be a little weird to have 2 Skilless in the drop. Like, unless you have a way to directly dump them from your deck, or like, you know, something to efficiently discard them. I'm not talking about combo them. You don't really want to just randomly combo any Skillesses unless you only need, you know, 1 more in the drop to play this guy, because he will play another Skilless from your drop. But I'm saying you don't want to neg to get Skilless guys in the drop area, so you probably won't play him on a lot of turn 2s. You might actually just go for your Adventure Begins activate main on turn 2. But I mean, turn 4 and beyond, this is a amazing cheap big threat that, you know, 1 is 25k double strike, 2 brings the Skilless back and boosts its power for another big attacker. So I do like this card a lot. I think the cards that they've shown for Skilless are amazing. Playtime's Over, that has a lot of applications in even Dark Broly and other black decks like that. Even other decks where you want to bring back like Dark Power Black Mass Sand, yeah, I guess it does come back with Skilless negated, so that's not the best example. But that card, really, really cool. This card's amazing. I think all the cards look great. Guys, I want to know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.